You wanted it, you got it. This is my mobility, flexibility, and activation routine. I will also be mentioning when I do the following and how often I do them. So first up, we have my mobility routine with the foam roller. If you don't already have a foam roller, if you are an athlete, if you like to train, if you're tight, if you can't afford massages, this is definitely a really good tool to have. I will start with this routine either before my first workout in the morning, which is either SNC or running, or I will do it between training sessions, so maybe after I eat lunch or something like that. I try to do this routine every day, but more realistically, I do it maybe 4 or 5 times a week, which isn't too bad either. As you can see, I start from my calves, then I work my way up to the hamstring. I really take my time on my quads because it seems like I particularly have a lot of knots and restrictions there from all the running and stuff that I do. Then I work my way up to the hip flexors. I make it a point to hit that area around the IT band and the quad as well. Anywhere where you feel a knot or a restriction of some sort, you want to just hang out there and hover on the foam roller until you feel like it's releasing a little bit. Remember to take deep breaths because foam rolling can be a rather uncomfortable experience, especially in the areas where you really, really need them. I move on to my glutes. You cross your legs and you really lean into the side where the leg is across the other leg, if that makes any sense. And you want to be a little bit careful here. So some of the very basic, I guess, rules of foam rolling is that you want to roll from joint to joint, but not on the joint itself, if that makes any sense. For example, when I was foam rolling my quads, I would roll from the very, very top of my kneecap all the way to my hip flexors, but never directly onto the kneecap or directly onto the hips itself. And you want to apply this principle to everywhere else that you're doing. If you roll directly on the bone, it could do a lot more harm than good. So you do want to be really careful here, especially when you are foam rolling your back, which I am about to do. If you are one of the very few fighters that have good thoracic mobility and overhead mobility, I commend you. If you are not one of those people, myself included, you definitely need to be doing this. So the thoracic spine is the upper half of your spine from your mid back to probably about your shoulder blade area. And because of fight stance and probably just overall poor posture when you're doing stuff throughout the day, sitting, it gets kind of rounded, which is not really good for your back health and also your mobility. I make it a point to also roll out my lats. My lats need a lot of work on it, as you can tell from my face here, and also my lack of good overhead mobility. So just why is having good mobility so important? So in addition to having the full range of motion to do everything that you want to do, it really helps to prevent injuries because better movement equals better function. If you need more guidance on how to roll out all of these pretty large body parts, you can refer to my foam roller series that I started on a few years ago. It's probably in my story highlights somewhere. I don't have everything up there because, like a lot of things, I started it and then I just got too busy to finish it. YouTube is another great resource. There are a lot of great videos from physical therapists that will teach you how to use a foam roller properly. And like most things, don't do it to the point of extreme pain. Foam rolling can be a bit uncomfortable, especially if you really need it, like I said before, but you should never be like in a lot of pain while doing it. Just extreme discomfort maybe. And of course, the best thing to do is to consult with a healthcare professional first before doing any of these things if you are worried or if you have any pre-existing conditions or injuries. This video is getting kind of long now. I will continue on with my mobility/activation exercises in the next part. Stay tuned.